I'm going to do my classroom trick that I learned from a elementary school teacher. So if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. If you can hear me, clap 4 times. If you can hear me, clap 5 times. There we go. Turns out it was me. It's not you, it's me. But I still got a few more times. How about if you can hear me, clap 6 times? All right, that's good enough. It's great to be with you. So this is a new addition to our Platinum Retreat. And the inspiration for this came when we looked at the amazing people that were going to be here, and we thought, what a shame to have these amazing leaders. Can you not hear? Do I need to hold it like this? Can we turn that up a little bit? You're going to have to... Who's over AV? Okay, great. They'll do it. Oh, Josh is doing it. Look, Josh does AV too. Oh, that guy does everything. He's amazing. So we had so many amazing leaders. I look at the list, I'm like, this is the who's who of Young Living, and we're all together, and we're not learning from each other, and I know you are. You're having your conversations, but we wanted to create a space for it. And so this afternoon, we're doing our first in quite some time Platinum Retreat training. And I've always believed, if you subscribe to Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, when I was 12 years old, I read that book. It changed my life. I started to carry around my day planner as a 12-year-old. And I really believe in what he teaches. One of those things is to always be sharpening your saw. Life is always about striving to be better. And in our business is dynamic. It's always moving. We have to move to those opportunities. And you're out there doing that. You're finding those opportunities. And it's a shame for us not to come together and compare our notes and say, this is what I'm finding. What are you finding? And how can we learn and grow and be better together? And we've got people from all over the world, all different skill sets, all different experiences. It's a gift. It's the best part of Platinum Retreat. As much as the Academy is amazing and the farm changes your life, being with each other to me is what truly uplifts me and makes me see the vision, the potential, and the excitement, the energy of what this company represents. That's why we're here. And so we're going to put you in the very capable hands of some very successful leaders, each of whom are different skills, and you're going to learn a lot from them today. So that's what we're here for, is to learn together. It's going to be a lot of interaction. This is the first time we've done it here at the farm. I know, hopefully you can all see the screen. So we actually posted that in the Facebook group as well. You can follow along with slides. So I think most of the presenters, except for Sandi, because she's like me. She's just like, you don't need slides. Slides, it's all right here. So we're gonna actually, I'm gonna put you very first in Sandi Bondreau's capable hands. Let me tell you a bit about Sandi and why she's amazing. She achieved silver in February of 2014. I wasn't even born then, you guys. 24, just kidding. It wasn't that long ago. 2014. I mean, but she's got a lot of experience, and she's so young. I don't know how that's possible. She achieved gold in April 2014, keeping track at home. That's only 2 months. Platinum in June of 2014, diamond October 2014, crown 2017, and royal crown diamond in 2018. That's quite a journey, isn't it? Yes. Sandi is lovely. So to tell you, we were talking about this the other day, to tell you how beloved Sandi is, we had a hurricane a couple of years ago in the United States, and she was not contactable. So she didn't have any service, and we all thought we'd lost her. And the internet lost its mind. Every one of us were sharing, I can't remember how many shares there were to the Facebook post, but it was 10,000 plus, I think. It just goes to show how much Sandi, Kyler, and their family mean to so many, including us here at Young Living. And as a personal note, if you don't text Sandi back, you'll never live it down. So always text Sandi back. Just a really important piece of advice for you. So without further ado, talking about leading yourself is Sandi Bondreau.
Thank you. I know. I'll listen eventually. Thank you so much. Ni hao ma. They told me people were coming from all over the world, so I started learning Mandarin. I'm just kidding. I've been to Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and loved the food and the people so much. So it's been really nice to meet you. I've really enjoyed it. I wanted to share a little bit today about before we chat at our tables, I just wanted to share a little bit about the importance, at least to me, about taking personal ownership and the freedom that comes with taking personal ownership, and not ownership for anyone else, but just for me. So first, I want to ask a question. How many of you have ever gone down in OGV? I mean, month to month. How many of you have ever lost a rank or gone down in rank? Me too. So I want to encourage you. How many of you have never gone down in rank? Let's just look at that. Anyone? Okay. I want to address that because so many times we look at our businesses and we tend to take it personally instead of recognize that all businesses have up times, have down times. We have seasons where we have babies, or we move across the country, or we have a hurricane hit, or whatever it may be. We have seasons, right? And you know these things. All of you could have spoken today because you have big stories. So I just want to encourage you to remember that the seasons when it's slower and things slow down are the time to take personal ownership and reflection and take a minute to look at what spurred you on to that growth, to silver, gold, platinum. So to look at our strengths is so important, and to look at what brings joy. So for me, I love getting to know people. I just am fascinated with people. I like to understand why people do things. I love to understand how people think and why they would do that. I don't know. Why don't they do this? You know, I love asking that question. And I ask them, like, help me understand why you did this or why you did that. So for me, I have enjoyed in the slow seasons just getting to know people, practicing people. Others may really love education or research, and so I encourage you in the slow times to take a class or attend a seminar and dig back into that personal growth. During the busy seasons, we don't take the time to take that seminar or read that book, right? Because we're so busy enrolling and activating and inspiring and motivating. But in the slow times, depending on where you are, you're in a season of growth, or you might be in a season of more stillness. Take the time to do what you love and really reflect on what your gifts are. If we work in our giftings, and that's one of the things I'd love for you to share in a minute with your group, what is a strength that you have? Something that you love to do or that you really enjoy reading about. Maybe you need to take time to write and share or put it in a blog or speak or host. Maybe on your way to platinum, you had parties every month and classes every week. Maybe you did it more than once a week. And now it's slower. Maybe people have, changed their perspectives or their priorities. So host a party anyway. It doesn't have to be about the same things. Just gather again, enjoy serving and loving on people. And whatever it was however you grew to platinum or beyond, or wherever you are in your business, just consider what it was that you loved most. Because if we're doing what we love, it really does make a difference in our energy and our vibe. I mean, if we love what we're talking about, if we love inspiring people, helping people with wellness, teaching about a specific body issue, or teaching about a specific product from Young Living, that will make a difference in how excited we are. Okay. I wanted to share a little bit about my story. I was not a mother when I started, and I always share this tip because I think a lot of this is intuitive and you could probably share the same types of thing. But before I was a mom, I was able to give a lot of time and energy, but I was enrolling a lot of moms. My friends were married and they were moms, a lot of them were. But what I did is I gathered people into a small chat or Facebook message thread or WhatsApp. You could do WhatsApp, whatever. And I would have someone in my upline or crossline be in that chat with me, with this new mother that joined my team. And that was me kind of taking ownership. Even though I didn't have my personal stories, I would say, all right, let's try lavender. That's what I would recommend for this. And I'm going to bring in my friend Courtney and my sister Carol Lee, and I'm going to see what they say. And it would all just be the small chat, 3 or 4 people. And that actually did help with duplication, which Stacie's going to talk about here in a minute. I wanted to ask this question too. How many of you have already taught a class or had a gathering online or in person this month? Okay. How many of you would love to have 100 people in your team teach a class this month? Everyone would like that. So we need to be doing what we would really love for our teams to be doing. And I'm speaking to myself too. So I have a neighbor here who's my guest, and she's going to help me get a party going. Okay, in slow seasons or hard seasons, it's easy to get distracted. It's okay to slow down and sit down for just a minute, but really dig into what brings you joy and continue to do those things. Only sit down for just a few minutes. Okay, I also want to encourage you to be aggressively adaptable. Is anyone a perfectionist here? I think probably many of us, or many of you, are type A. Anyone type A personality? Anyone? Perfectionist? So I'm not. And I have found that that has been a gift to not be a perfectionist. I just get it done. Just get it done. So I encourage you to be aggressively adaptable when things come your way. Okay. I'm not sure if I guess the questions will be in the group, but I'd love for you to just sit and talk with each other. Maybe group up a little bit more if you want to have more people at your spot. Are we going to go over the questions now or at the end? Oh.
I was just going to encourage you to switch tables. Don't sit by people you know. If you're sitting next to people you know, you're not going to learn as much as if you're sitting with people you don't. So please, stand up, switch tables. Sit next to... If you're at the Indonesian table, sit at the Australian table. If you're Australian table, sit at the Grand Cayman table. Just mix around. Stand up, kind of mix around. Let's cross-pollinate a little bit.
Thank you. All right. As you're doing that, are the questions going to be here too, or just in the Facebook group? Does anyone know? Or do I just say the questions? Okay. All right. So some things to discuss. First of all, I'd love for you to quickly go around popcorn and share your greatest strength. One of your greatest strengths, just in 1 or 2 words, a short sentence. And really honor that in yourself. Honor what you do very well and share that. So you're going to do that first, and then I'd love for you to talk about where you have become maybe too comfortable or inconsistent in your leadership in your business or daily business habits or even personal habits, right? So talk about your strengths and then share an area in your business where you have become a little bit too comfortable, a little bit lazy. You have stopped doing this income producing activity and you know you need to get started, okay? So a strength and then an area in which you need to improve. So we'll just take about a minute and a half here. Am I okay? Am I about 5 minutes? You're doing good. You are fabulous. I had to wear it because I have a consignment shop in my little town. I'm telling you about this thing. I think it was raining. You have to. Yeah. So people just wear things, you know. Yeah. I loved it, and it kind of like, you know how certain things are better. I don't have hips. I have to have like fake hips. Yep. I'm the same way. But all right, you're sharing your strength, your top strength, and then an area where you know you need to improve. Have you all shared your strength? Okay, keep going. Share your strength quickly and an area in which you can improve. Think about what you stopped doing that you could continue doing. What can you do differently to get back into alignment with your goals and your values? Okay, just a couple more. Yeah, wait, you've got about 10 more minutes. Oh, wow. Oh, then maybe I'll try to share a personal story. They said 7 or 8 minutes. But that includes table talk. Ben went real fast. Oh, okay, good. Good for Ben. If you're no, it's fine. No, just keep going. I'm trying to think what's a good story to end on. Sometimes people like the micro stories, the small, not the big, huge, ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. Where it's like, oh, I can do that. Right. Yeah. What is an area that you may be resisting some growth in? Maybe you're feeling pressure. Maybe you need to welcome this growth. What is holding you back from going back into alignment with what brought you to your original, or at least the goal of platinum? I wonder if I could open it up for a question from you, because sometimes I do really good on the spot for questions, and like, and some people might just have that, you know, like what, how did you grow, you know, because yeah, yeah, because people assume that we're, you know, influencers or whatever. I never have been, never will be, don't want to be really. All right, let's take a break here. Maybe wrap up in the next 30 seconds. Did everyone get your whole future figured out? Think of a question to ask me about this, because I'm gonna do Q&A since I have something about this topic. Yeah, or about whatever. They may have a question to ask me. Okay, good job. Did y'all figure anything out? What's your biggest change that you're gonna make? Oh, do we have a third? Well, I just kind of talked. Yeah, what would you do differently now? What could you do now? How can you move forward to get back into alignment with what brought you to this goal of platinum, gold, wherever you are? Okay, so what would we do? Well, I'm going to open it up to Q&A. I just was kind of asking all the questions throughout it. Like, how do you get back into alignment? How do you go back into what brought you to the success? You know, things change, so it's not the same as it was, you know? And what may be holding you back? Is it fear? Is it that whole imposter thing? Maybe just 30 more seconds. Oh, and think of, I'm going to open it up to anyone wants to ask about consciousness or anything else. So think of that. Okay, we have so much to hear and learn about, so I know, I'm sorry. You can get each other's contact information if you have a great conversation to continue later. We did that at convention, every table at the kitchen tables. I got everyone's email so that we could follow up with a group Zoom for each of those groups. It was really, really neat. Okay, before I hand this back to Ben, I wanted to open it up to Q&A for me or for anything that you want to ask me. I will answer it unless I don't want to. But ask me anything about my business if you'd like. Anyone have a question for me personally? For my business or anything? Yes.
Hi, my name is Maizura. So I just want to know, just now you mentioned about your downtime. So you're doing something during your downtime. How long is the downtime usually?
Well, when you have a baby, so her question was maybe how long is the downtime? Sometimes it's out of our control, right? Sometimes downtime is affected by economy or what our team is doing or if we move or have a death in the family. So downtime is just personal. We get to take ownership for how much downtime we're going to take. I like to say get up before you're ready. Because if we settle down and sit down too long and then lay down and then cuddle up with our lazy pillows, we will forget everything we did. And then we have to rebuild the muscle. We have to work out again and start practicing teaching and start remembering what we knew and remembering what we shared about, remembering our stories. So just sit down and rest as needed, but then get back up before you're even ready. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 months. It really depends. My first daughter was born very prematurely, so we were in the hospital with her for 4 months. And that's the month I hit Diamond, the month she was born. And so I don't even remember hitting Diamond. I don't remember anything about reaching Diamond that day. I just don't remember it because she was born like 10 days before that. I was 24 weeks pregnant. So for me, that was obviously the highest priority in my heart, mind, soul, body. Every part of me was with her. And but the beauty of Young Living is there were many people who were already so excited, already sharing. They also were praying for us, which was a beautiful blessing, and praying for my daughter. She's 11 now and healthy and doing very well. But I paused pretty much everything. And when you duplicate well, again, Stacie will talk about this, when you duplicate well and really pass on the joy of what this business and what these products offer, it will take off without you having to be there every moment. And it continued to grow, and we continued on and reached Crown Diamond and Royal Crown Diamond later. So that was a beautiful thing. I also wanted to mention, this is a little, and maybe I'll take one more question. Do I have time for that? I'll take one more question in a minute, but while you're thinking, I think it's really important to remember generationally, in our physical world, we know our mom, we may be blessed to know grandparents and maybe great-grandparents. We know our children, we may get to be grandparents, and we may get to know our great-grandchildren. And in this business, we know and learn from our upline and that person right above and right above. And we can pass it on to that person right below and the people in the layers, right? But make sure we're not trying to manage the entire family tree, right? Let people in your downline, you're right under you and level 2s and 3s, let them have opportunity to lead and speak and share and grow and host. Because the generation, that culture, and I know Rhonda's sharing about culture, but that's the culture that passes down, a culture of ownership. And if you teach people to take ownership and that generationally passes down, does that make sense what I'm saying? Then the growth, you can still know and serve and love on your whole team, but that's more manageable and it gives you more time and space to really love and be with your people right above and right below and on side to side. All right, didn't someone else have a question for me? And then I'll hand it off. You can ask me anything. This is dangerous. Ben has a question if I'm ever going to listen to his voice text. I'm just. I know. You did? Oh. Anyone have a question for me? If not, thank you so much. And I have loved visiting with you on the buses and at the meals and in the spa area. Oh, yes.
I'll ask on behalf of them. I know they have always been asking, what were you doing when you were struggling or during your slow times? Yeah.
So I think I said this, but when I'm speaking to others, I'm often speaking to myself, right? I'm preparing to share, but I'm also teaching myself what I need to do differently and do better. She asked what I have done in the slower times. I've done a variety of things. Sometimes I've gotten lazy at times. I still always love and use and share about Young Living. It just may not be to the same intensity or to the same amount, but I still think that's important. I use probably 50 products every day. I'm not exaggerating. I just love every single thing at Young Living. So I use almost everything, unless it's for the men. But I think that in my slowest times when I have been spurred on, it's when I reflect on the differences that I can make if I share. And if I withhold information or withhold my heart just to rest or just to take a break from any stress, I feel like that at some point becomes selfishness on my part if I withhold what I have to offer. And I want to close with that, actually, because each one of you, whether you're here serving food or whether you're a silver, gold, platinum, a guest of somebody, or whether you're Royal Crown Diamond, really remember you have so much to offer. You know this. I'm saying things you already know, but you have so much to offer. Don't withhold that. Don't hide that. Develop it and step out on a limb and take risks. And I'm speaking to myself here. Get back into the habits that brought you where your highest place in this business and even your highest joys in your personal life, and marry those two so that you can do those together. So get back to work. I'm doing it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandi, for sharing. We had a great discussion over where I was. I love kind of learning from all of you. And from you, Sandi, as well. One of the thoughts I had as you were talking at the end is that Gary used to say, and Jacob now says all the time, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And we don't like being uncomfortable, but that's really where growth and opportunity is. It always has been and always will be. All right, our next presenter comes to us with also a wealth of experience. She achieved silver in July of 2013, gold October 2013, platinum December 2014, and diamond in October 2015. She's going to be talking to us about creating a culture that connects. And I want to tell you, I had a chance to see this firsthand. So we had a diamond retreat in Grand Cayman, and they actually have the largest team in the Grand Cayman Island. And I got a chance to meet her people. And the community there that they built is beautiful. You feel it. They're wonderful people. It reminds me we live the law of attraction. When good people go out and find more good people, you create more abundance. And that's what they've done in their business, in their lives, and with their team, and I've seen it firsthand. So please welcome up to teach us a bit more about how to create a culture that connects, Rhonda Favano.
Okay, friends. Okay. I have too many gadgets, and you guys can tell I'm not a gadget girl, right? Sorry, Gretchen. I know it's a letdown. All right, if you earned this retreat, if this is your platinum retreat, would you mind standing? Look at these beautiful people. We applaud you. Awesome. Congratulations. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. So I'm going to talk about culture. And I don't know if I'll be able to manage these things, but I only have like 5 slides. So I have a question. If your team culture were a person, would you want to hang out with them? You ever thought about that? Just something to think about. So when we talk about culture, what we're talking about is people and how they feel, right? How do they feel when they're around us? How do they feel being a part of our team, or do they? That feeling, that culture that we create greatly contributes to whether or not, first of all, that they share, right? How long they hang around with us, and how their business grows or doesn't grow. It's all about that culture. So for me, when I first started this business, I thought I needed to know all the things. Anybody else been there, done that? You thought you needed to know all the things, right, before you could really even get started. And you had to have a lot of systems, right? You had to have all the stuff in place. Well, all that's good, but that's not what builds this business. At least that's not what's done it for me. I really quickly learned it's a relationship business, right? It's all about the connections that we make, the relationships that we build, because people don't join a company. They don't just go say, oh, I'm going to join Young Living. They join us. It's us that they connect with. We're the reason that they get on board, right? And Young Living is amazing and has amazing products, but they come because of us. And they're always going to remember how we make them feel. People may not remember the exact conversation that they have with us or that we have with them, but we know how we feel when it's over and we walk away, right? And that's huge. So we're going to talk about what that looks like. Oh, good, we're there. Okay, so people need to feel like they're seen. Otherwise, they're not going to pay attention to us, right? They're never going to want to lead. I mean, they're never going to want to follow the way that we're leading. So we need to take time to check in with them. We need to treat them like a human, not like a dollar sign or not like PV, right? They're a human. So what would happen if you checked in with someone on your team every single day? That just means maybe you send them a text message. Maybe you send them a voice memo, but you ask about them. What's going on with them? How's their family? If you know a certain situation that they've been dealing with, you ask about that. You don't talk to them about how many classes do you have scheduled this month, right? We really make connection with them because they're going to remember that. So if we can create that trust, we will create loyalty, right? People don't leave people when they're loyal to them and when they have a relationship with them and when they trust them. The next thing that we want to do is we want to celebrate. Anybody love to be celebrated? You like for somebody to say, hey, good job. That was awesome. We all do, right? Like that may not really do everything for us, but it will go a long way. So if we celebrate everything, it's going to build momentum, and we need momentum, right? That's kind of the secret sauce. So whether or not it is the first time that they do a presentation, whether it's the first time they enroll someone, whether they're ranking up, it doesn't matter. Celebrate every single thing that you can find to celebrate. And that can look like dropping them a message, right? Again, a text, a voice note, send them a card. Anybody besides me like to get something in the mail that's happy mail? Because I don't know about you, but I get a lot of junk mail. I like to get happy mail sometimes, so that goes a long way. People know we took time to handwrite that note, don't they? So let's do that. One of the things that we did, and for those of you that were growing, building and things when Young Living was having like that 100+% growth every month, remember those days? We're going back to that, by the way. We are. It's going to happen again. We called every single person that ranked up on our team on the phone. We called them. They didn't all answer the phone, but we would leave a voice message. And you guys, you would be surprised how many people called us back. because I would say, this is who I am. This is why I'm calling you. I just want you to know that I am so excited for you to rank up to star. It's a big deal. And a lot of them would call us back. And you know what thrilled me? And because after hundreds of phone calls in a month, sometimes you get tired, right? But you know what? When we started hearing people, when we would meet them in person, they would say, I'm excited to get to the next rank because I know you're going to call me. I thought, you know what? We're doing something right. We're doing something right. So we kept that up, and we still do that today. We just don't make as many calls as we used to make. So that part's always good. We mail something to them as well. Something goes in snail mail every time they rank up. So they get that phone call and they get something. Frank is really good with technology, and he created these nice certificates that have their name and their rank and all the things, and they love getting them. They love to get those certificates, and it comes with a handwritten note. So you guys, it doesn't take that long to make somebody really feel seen and appreciated, and I like that myself. To the first-time enrollers, I make them a roller, a special blend. I share with them what's in that blend, and I write a card to them, and I send it to them in the mail. And sometimes they don't even understand really that anything was going to happen because they enrolled someone. That gives me an opportunity when they reach back out to say, oh, well, by the way, did you know that Young Living is going to give you an account credit, or we get you to a brand partner, they're going to send you some cash. So it opens that door for those people that I don't even actually know, right, that are somewhere down on my downline. So keep celebrating, and other people will repeat that, and that will grow the culture. The next thing is we have to keep it really simple. You know what? If we give someone too much information, they're overwhelmed and they don't make a choice, right? Or they don't move. I don't know if you've ever been, one of the things that when we go to a restaurant, if the menu's too big, I just sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to get. And that's what we do sometimes with people. So keep it really simple, make things fun. So some of the things that we like to do is make something really focused so they know exactly what we're thinking about and what we're wanting them to do. So it might be a 5-day sharing challenge, just whatever you want, 5 days. Reach out and touch somebody every day on those 5 days. Or talk to 3 people this week about Ningxia Red. We can all do that, right? Like, just keep it really easy. And then when they come back and say, hey, I did that, then what do? We celebrate them, right? We make a big deal about it. So those little bite-sized trainings are amazing. Send them text. Put it in the form of a text that they can go back and read. Or maybe a 3 or 4 minute video, not 30 minutes. Nobody does that anymore. You know, that used to work. It doesn't work today, friends. So do that. Duplication thrives on simplicity. So one of the things that has also worked really, really well as far as duplicating is I call people and I say, hey, Gretchen, if you'll gather some people at your house, I'll come teach for you. And by the way, Gretchen, everybody that enrolls, when we do that, they're all going under you. And when they get that premium starter bundle, you're going to get $50. And they're like, really? So we get them flipped to a brand partner if they're not already. We show up, and it doesn't matter to me whether they have 2 people there or they have 200 people. I don't care. I just don't care. Every person that we touch matters. So those are simple things that we can do. Challenges. We've seen some challenges in our business in the last few years, haven't we? Right? We've seen challenges in our life and in our world in the last few years. So those things are going to happen. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be discouragement. There's going to be burnout. There's going to be all those different seasons. But if we're transparent and honest about it, we'll get through it. You know, we don't have to say, oh yeah, everything is rainbows when it's not. Just be real. People want real. So when we're emotionally grounded, and do you guys know that we have some really great oils for that? Gretchen's got some right up here. So really great emotional oils for that to keep us grounded, because when we are grounded and solid emotionally, that's going to convey back to our team. People aren't expecting us to be perfect, but they expect us to be present. They expect us to be there and show up for them. And then last but certainly not least is we need to keep it fun, right? We've been missing out on fun for a while now, haven't we? Just in general, everything's been heavy. So people crave They crave fun. They crave belonging. We like to belong to something. Like, we like to feel like we're a part of it. Anybody here got to know people that have had a positive influence on you in the last few days? Has that happened to anybody? I see a couple of you. Are you guys not talking to people? Seriously, like, I have been so blessed by the conversations that I've had, by the connections that I make. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So get out, meet new people. Don't be afraid to come and go talk to people. Keep it light, but make traditions. That's the word I'm wanting. Traditions in your group with your team. So it could be simply monthly coffee chats, right? Like, you get together for a cup of coffee. It could be theme days or product challenges, anything, but make some things common. Make them traditions that anybody can duplicate and carry on to grow. People love being a part of the team. They want to show up. They want you to show up, right? Everybody wants to be seen. So that's our job, is to make sure that people feel seen and that they feel appreciated. Because, friends, culture is caught. It's not taught. That took me a minute to learn early on. So we do a lot of retreats ourselves. We do them for customers. We do them for brand partners. We do them for everybody, because nothing is better than when a group of people spend time together. And that's why I was asking you guys, have you had a positive experience? Have other people influenced you or encouraged you? Because I know I have some conversations this week with people who are really discouraged, people who felt like they were the only ones that their OGV has dropped, things like that. And when you realize that you're not alone, it makes a huge, huge difference. So be real with them, and just let them feel your energy. Because whatever energy we put out, you guys, that's creating the culture. That energy is rippling through our team. Our people feel it, and that's what we're going to duplicate. So building culture isn't about being the perfect leader, friends. It's about being a present one. So when we connect, when we celebrate, when we keep things simple, we lead with grace, and we have fun, our team's going to naturally grow. We're going to be stronger. Our team's going to have more confidence, and we're going to be more consistent. Because honestly, nobody's looking for a boss, right? Anybody in the market for a boss? I don't think so. They need a believer. They need a cheerleader. They need somebody that's going to lock arms with them and do life together. So that's what it's about. All right. I don't know if we have questions. So Ben, do we want to do the same thing? Do you want me to just ask the questions, and is that what we're doing? Okay. So the first question to talk about is, how are you maintaining connection and culture as your organization is growing right now, or not? Maybe it's not growing. So that's your first question. How are you maintaining connection and culture in your organization currently? I'm so sorry. Yes, you're talking about it. Okay, you guys, kind of wrap this one up, and we're going to get ready to go to the next question in a minute. Okay, friends, the next question for us to discuss is what intentional actions help you to strengthen culture? And that can be online, in person, anything. What kind of things have you been doing or have you done in the past that, that have helped you? Just give your friends at your table some new ideas. Okay, we got about a minute left to wrap this one up, friends. So have you got some new ideas? Okay, let's do our third and final question. How do you model and multiply the culture that you want your leaders to carry forward? How do you model and multiply the culture that you want your leaders to carry forward?
We're at the mark.
Okay, we're going to wrap up 1 minute, friends. Okay, friends, that's it. So, who is ready to rock the culture in your team? All right?
All right, thank you, Rhonda. Hopefully you got a few tips and ideas of things you can do for your team. I know you grow beautiful team cultures, and they're all different in their own ways. So we had a great discussion over at my table. Our next speaker, you're in very capable hands. She has been quite successful with us. I'll give you her journey. So she achieved silver in February of 2014, gold in April of 2014. That was a good year, 2014. Platinum October 2014, diamond in October of 2015, crown diamond March 2017, and royal crown diamond November 2017. This lady, I can say on a personal level, a couple of things that I love about Stacie Malkus is she's loyal to the core. Like, she is fiercely loyal to her people, including me and the Young Living community. We love that about her. She shows up for us. The thing I've really been impressed with Stacie recently is how she's learning through her journey and through her business. And recently has had some really exciting success. We have some recognition later tonight. You'll see her on stage, and this is a big reason why. So please welcome up, talking about multiplying leadership through duplication, Royal Crown Diamond, Stacie Malkus.
Thank you. I think I'll do. Thank you. Okay. Hi, guys. Thank you, Ben, and thank you for reminding me that how important it is to get uncomfortable. For those of you who know me, you know that I absolutely hate public speaking. It is something I've had to grow through in this company, and every time they ask me to speak, I'm always like, my first instinct is, nope, there's way better speakers. There's people who love getting on stage, and just go talk to them. And then, of course, I end up doing this, and I feel really great that I can help people. So today, I'm going to share with you guys multiplying leadership through duplication. I truly believe this is the only way to grow in this business is by fully understanding duplication. That's me. You can't see me because there's a glare, but if you're looking on the slides, that's my husband, my daughter. We're all here. Just having an amazing week. My daughter's waving. She's very happy here. She's out saving the kittens. We are from Idaho, and it's always great traveling around the world because nobody knows where Idaho is once you get out of the US. But at Young Living events, everybody knows Idaho because we have the best tree oils. So that's where we come from. You can't see this, but it's the comp plan, and there's an arrow this way, and it says less duplication for the lower ranks, and there's an arrow this way, it says more duplication on the higher ranks. And that is because the only way to get to these higher ranks is by fully duplicating in your teams, and I'm going to talk to you today about what that really looks like. When I first looked at this comp plan and I saw 1.5 million OGV, my head was like, there's just no way. I don't know that many people. I am a total introvert. I have a small network. I am not a salesy person. I hate MLM. I have a fear of public speaking. I mean, every reason why I could not get to 1.5 million. However, I will tell you, I now love MLM. I tell everyone about MLM. I am not embarrassed anymore about that, and I still do have a fear of public speaking, but I'm doing it because that's what we do. We do things scared. So how did I do it? How did I grow a large organization of, another zero on that 1.5? And the reason that it's possible is duplication. It's that by empowering others to do the thing that you are doing, that is how your team can grow. And if you're doing it the other way, you're gonna burn out. Meaning, if I'm going out every day and I'm trying to do all the things and my people are seeing me do all the things, they're not gonna believe that they can do it. So it is so important that whatever the things are that you're doing and however you're showing up, people have to believe that they too can do what it is that you're doing. And so this is just a really general picture, but the idea here is that you're here at the top leading your team, and each of those people need to believe that they can do the thing that you're doing. And so often I see people doing this business in a way that they're burning out because they're trying to do everything for everyone all of the time. We were just talking about this at our table, and I know Sandi was talking also about being a perfectionist, which I've had to overcome that as well, because you can't. And if people see the thing that you're doing and they don't believe that they can do it, they're not going to do it. So you have to show up in such a way that you are instilling the belief in others that they can do the thing that you're doing. So it doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. That's Eric Worre. So here we've got, on the left is traditional sales. And on the right, we've got network marketing or direct sales. So in traditional sales, you must be the expert in your field. So if you work at any retail establishment or showroom, boutique, a store, sales rep, whatever it is, you better be the expert in that field. You better know everything about every one of those products because you're selling that product. And yes, we are also selling products, but we're selling more than just products. We're selling the whole opportunity, the whole business. And again, when I first started, I was not comfortable talking about the business. In fact, I was ashamed. I didn't want my friends to feel like I'm just trying to make money off of them. I had had a previous bad MLM experience, and I didn't want to be a part of any MLM. But then I realized how different it is here in Young Living. We were talking about this at our table. Like, look where we are, you guys. We're in the middle of a farm in Ecuador, like sweaty and dirty, but how amazing. Like, this is what we love. This is Young Living. We are not like other companies. And so in Young Living specifically, you don't want to be that expert. You don't want to be that person who knows all the things, because people are not going to be able to duplicate that. So my background, I was a mechanical engineer, so I'm a total nerd. I love all the math and science, and I could just study the chemistry of oils all day. Like, that excites me. But if I get up in my house and I teach a class about the chemistry of the oils and all the data and all the science, not a single person in that room is going to think that they too could do this business. Okay, they might buy the oils, they might appreciate the science, they might love seed to seal, but they're not going to be my next brand partner. Okay? Versus if I get up, same class, and I put all the details aside and I just share my stories from my heart. How I used oils on my daughter when she was little, who's hiding because she's also embarrassed, and how it changed our life and how our family has been touched by these products. Now people are going to relate. People want that. So whatever it is that you're doing, however you're showing up and teaching, just make sure that you're doing it in a way that people can connect with and that people feel like they too can go do in their house, in their teams. This is kind of a ridiculous slide, but I'll explain. It says, don't be a curler. I don't know if you guys know this sport. It's called curling. It's like in the Olympics. And I got this picture because one of my leaders of my team in Sweden, years into this business, she was silver on her way to gold, and she came to me one day. She's like, I figured it out. I'm like curling for my team. I'm like, curling for your team? I'm thinking hair curling. She's like, no, I'm like one of those like curlers. I'm just pushing the ice. For those of you who don't know this sport, it's like you push the ice and you make it really smooth so that this little disc can go to the right spot. She's like, that's what I've done all these years. I have paved this path for my team. I've made everything so easy. She's like, I get up, I teach the classes. I wouldn't want them to have to like feel embarrassed and teach a class, so I do it for them. And all these years, she thinks she's doing a great thing, but really what she's doing is she's showing them they can't do this business. They can't duplicate. So don't be a curler means like whatever you're doing, do it in a way that people think, hey, I could do that. In fact, maybe I could do that better. Like, that's the best. If I get up and I teach a class and the microphone breaks, I'll keep talking. And if someone sees my class and they think, not only can I do that, but I could do that better than her, that is like the ultimate. You're going to get brand partners all day. Like, I will do classes and I'll read from a card because I want people to think that they don't have to know all the things, okay? So everything you're doing has to be done in a way that people believe that they can do it too. So I'm just going to give a few little examples, and it says, I forgot what I wrote. It says, have you ever like done this thing? And then I'm going to say, instead, try this. So this says, have you ever hosted a class where you present the entire time? Raise your hand. Who's taught a class where you're presenting the entire class? I mean, I think we probably all have done it. I've done it. Okay, so again, if I get up and I teach a class and I'm the only one speaking the whole time, that's great. But now that's all people see. It's just me. Versus, instead, invite your brand partners. Find what their specialty is. Find what their strengths are and have them come up, highlight them, empower them. Let them see that they too can do this for themselves. And let everyone else in the room see, hey, I could do that. Okay, have you guys ever replied to a message as soon as your phone dings? We hear our phones dinging all day. We want to get back to people. Ding, you respond right away. Who's done that? I know I have. Okay, instead, mark your message as unread and reply later. Now, why would you do that? Unless it's like the end of the month. I know there are things that are urgent and we have to do it. But if every time something's coming in and you're responding right on that second, first of all, you're going to burn yourself out because being on call 24/7 is exhausting. I know because I did it for many years. But instead, you're showing people that you have a balanced life. You're there for them. You're just not there for them at 10 at night when you're finally put your kids to bed. Okay? So be available for your people, but not in a way that they feel they can't also do and then duplicate for their people. Okay, have you ever replied to a question you've seen before in your business group? And what I mean by that is like you keep seeing the same question come up and you just keep responding because it's like everyone's asking. I know I've done it. Okay, instead, make a post. Make a post in your group. Now, every time that same question comes up, like what does PGV mean or whatever it is, you just tag the people or you send them the link. Now, every time their people ask the same question, they can tag their people. They can send them the link. It's the same thing. You're duplicating. You're not burning yourself out, and you're not having others see that you're burning yourself out, and you're not having others see that they can't do the thing that you're doing. I mean, that is the name of the game. That's duplication. Have you ever stood up and crushed your entire presentation? This is a silly one, but it's like use note cards, okay? Like read from note cards whether or not you're like actually reading. I will stand up, and again, it's just showing people that they can do the thing. And then it's something else on presentations that I forgot to put in here, but I love when I have a new brand partner and they say that they want to teach a class, but they've never done it and they're not sure how. I love saying, invite your people. I'm going to come and I'm going to do it for you. And I know we just talked about curling, don't be a curler, but go do the class and let your new brand partner see you do the class and do a great class, but let them know the next time, the second class, they're going to come up with you and you're going to do it 50-50. You're both going to teach that class and they're going to learn by being there with you. And then the third class, and I let them know this up front, like we'll do 3 classes together. The first I'm going to do, the second we're going to do together, and by the third one, I'm going to be in the audience for like moral support, but they're going to teach it, okay? And that is like the most simple way to get your people teaching classes is just, again, by leading by duplication and showing them how to do it. Okay, last one. We just talked about this too. Have you ever hosted an event at your house and prepared each dish lovingly and beautifully? Like, how many of you guys love doing all the decorations and all the, Mika, I know you do everything beautifully. That's great, but not in network marketing, okay? Do that like for your kid's birthday party or do that for something else. In network marketing, simplicity is the name of the game. Whatever you are doing, make sure everyone in that room believes that they can do it too. So have some Ningxia shots, have your starter kit, and that's it. Like no frou-frou decorations and forget about all the things, because again, nobody is gonna believe that they can do that. I think that's all I got. Are you ready to start building your legacy through duplication? Yeah, we're gonna have some questions now. If you guys, I feel like everyone's been sitting at the same tables. Does everyone want to get up and rotate and meet some new friends? Yes, do it, everyone. Stand up, you can do it, come on. You're all looking at me. Come on, move to the table to your right or left.
So here's your questions here.
I actually have it. Is it this one? Yeah. I got it.
Same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, everybody grab a new table, new friends, and we're going to chat about a new topic. Okay, the question is, how are you helping new leaders feel confident and capable from the beginning? How are you helping new leaders feel confident and capable from the beginning?
I've been giving him like 4 minutes per question.
Yeah, I feel like it's never long enough. You get in good chats with these. You start like really chatting, and then you're like, oh my gosh, oh, and then you realize there's like 10 people and like 2 people have shared, and you're like, sorry, but it's so good. It's so good this format because people really. It's kind of what I was talking about. Like you always hear the same person talking. Like in our team, if I get up on every call or everything, and they're like, we know you, Stacie. We've heard all your spiel. Like. And we're still not growing, and then someone else, like you come in the room, and then you say like the most simple things, and people are like, oh, I never would have thought to do that. And I'm like, I've been saying this for 10 years, you guys, but it's so, yeah, different something tone, different context, yeah, totally.
You know what? Somebody told me this.
It's
I
the
told
same.
everybody every like.
Exactly. You're like, I couldn't have said that. Yeah, so I love this format, and people are like.
And I feel like at the level of platinum and above, it's really valuable just to have discussion. Like, you know the basics. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I think is already inherent, but having discussion and learning from each other.
Yeah, and like especially now, everyone's having same challenges. I mean, this girl was just like, I don't know what to do because I'm inviting people to classes and it's the same people who keep showing up, and so then I'm like, okay, well, ask those people to invite the people. She's like, I did that. I'm like, we're still getting the same people. And then this other girl chimes in. She's like, well, I've been teaching these yoga classes and it has nothing to do with oils, but like we're reaching all these new people. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So that's what my enroller Carol's been doing at our house. She's teaching everything under the sun. That's not oils, you know? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, like what are you into? And she's like, oh, like I love cooking. And I'm like, cooking class, like open up your kitchen, have some lucia, like don't have oils and don't make it an oil thing, but like have a little subtle whatever, and make it 99% about cooking. And then the other girl was like, yeah, and then I have people and they're asking me, how do I get those products? She's like, I'm not even asking or selling. I'm like, yeah, but it's like those simple things.
Yeah, little things that can just turn you on to something new. Yeah, I love that.
I can't tell if they're like, do you want more questions?
No.
Hi. You guys find some chat?
Yeah, we fed the kids. We fed them. Tell you all about that. It's so ready.
I'm like, hot.
You're nervous? Can we borrow your phone to check our... Oh, tell you about the kids. So, the 3 kids and the mom and the dad, they were all there. And we made them a little area up so the dogs could fit into that. And then we got a bowl, we filled it with the food, and then we put water. There were other people there that worked there, and so after we fed them all, they were all eating each other and licking their faces, and the moms were all purring and all together. After they ate, they were really sticky, and then we started wiping them down with a towel, the wet towel, because they were really dirty. And that other people were a little salty.
Wait, hold on one second. I'm kind of still doing something.
There's
Hold on.
one thing.
About less than a minute.
Okay, one more minute to wrap up your ideas on how you're helping your new leaders.
No, and then so I tell.
I'm like, do you not see what I'm doing here? I know you guys are amazing. Hold on. I know. Should I do the next one?
Okay, we're going to move on to the next question, which is, Where are you having your team focus their efforts to keep duplication simple and effective? I'll repeat. Where are you having your team focus their efforts to keep duplication simple and effective? Yeah. Where are you having your team focus their efforts to keep duplication simple and effective? Keeping it simple and effective.
Where are you doing it for a simple and effective? Did you not come to my talk? I just talked about this for 15 minutes. I did again. Then I had the extra little, so we fed them one wet catching bag, and we didn't want to do another because their belly's so empty and they have the vomit. So I took the other, I gave it to the guy, and he didn't know one word in English. So I was trying to I was like, esta mañana, and then I pointed to the food, and I pointed to the cats, and pointed to pouring it in, and so he's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And it was basically so tomorrow he'll feed them. It was their kid, the worker.
I'm like not on time. Are we?
We're barely over, but it's fine.
Should I say one more minute or done?
No, we're okay.
Done.
No. I've still got. It's only been 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. So don't. I like to give like a minute. I think like.
Yeah. We've got 1 more minute.
Are you guys done with the cats, or do you want to see if there's some cat house?
No, they don't go there. There are no cats. Mommy, how much longer are you going to get?
Is this gonna wrap up after this, and then the shuttles, or is there more after this?
No, it's after. Mary's gonna just.
Mary's gonna have. Is it a long one? I guess we never know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So if.
Why not right now? Like while people are. Why can't we ask someone? Yeah, like someone that you trust. Somebody else.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, 1 more minute on keeping duplication simple.
I'm trying to distinguish this third question. I didn't actually.
You can reform it if you want.
Okay. We're almost done, so don't worry. Just talk about something fun.
Okay, the last question we're going to discuss is we've talked so much about duplication. How are you making this a natural and consistent part of your team's culture? How are you guys making duplication natural and consistent?
I can clock out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unless you want to say anything at the end. You good? Okay. Thank you so much.
You want to give a 1 minute?
Okay, 1 more minute to wrap it up.
You are truly gifted. I hope you feel encouraged. Everyone has loved it. Loved it.
Sorry about the screen.
I don't ever have a crazy.
You're good.
Actually, do you want to hand it back to Ben? Yeah, instead of me. Yeah.
Okay, I hope you guys all had great chats about duplication and your teams. We're going to have Ben Riley come back up and share some more amazing things.
Thank you, Stacie Malkus. For someone who doesn't like public speaking, she's awfully good, isn't she? Thank you, Stacie. Beautiful. Okay, well, thank you for being with us and for sharing. Again, I think the most value that exists, I was saying to the table that I was sitting at that I'm a big believer that all of us are smarter than one of us. And this is all of us bringing our capabilities and sharing together so we can all be better together. So thank you for being generous in your sharing, courageous in what you share, and learning together. To wrap us up, I want to actually invite the most experienced networker here, most experienced networker I know, actually, who's been doing this for quite some time. Before she founded this company, she built her own successful direct sales business. And I always like to say that Mary, as much as we talk a lot about Gary and how Gary is the founder of the modern essential oil movement, which he is, that Mary was this Young Living secret sauce. And I say that because as much of a genius as Gary always was with the product, Mary brought a very special skill in the ability to teach other people how to use oils, how to build teams, how to create culture, generate duplication in your business. And it was when Gary and Mary came together that the magic happened. And so I think Mary is the best one to talk about this specifically, how you ultimately bring it all together. And specifically, one thing I've learned from Mary through the years, and one of our values at Young Living in the YL way, is that we lead with heart. And this one's a Mary one. There are some that are Gary, like we're trailblazers. That's a Gary, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. But we lead with heart is a Mary thing. And that's because we learned from Mary. She told me this years ago, and she says it all the time, and I learn more every day from her example what she means, and that is that leadership isn't about a title. It's about how you make someone feel. So leadership is not about a title. There we go. It's about how you make someone feel. So please welcome, to wrap us up here, Mary Young.
Well, I guess you are the elite who stayed to listen to all of this. It's been fun sitting at the back listening to some of our leaders talk. And I have to say, you are the leaders. You are the leaders of Young Living. I mean, you're here for Platinum. So obviously you know how to work this business. You know how to build, am I right? So you don't need me to tell you anything. You need to go out and tell everybody else, right? Right? Yes. Are you following? You understand me? Am I talking slowly? Slow enough? It's a challenge when English is not your first language. And somebody talks in English like Ben Riley, and he talks like this really fast, and you can't understand a whole lot of what he says. I have to tease him. But it's been, as always, wonderful at Platinum. I think about my experience. You know, my father invested in a gold mine in Colombia. And he used his house to guarantee the money that he borrowed from the bank. After 1 year, we learned that the gold mine was a scam. It was phony. It wasn't real. And everyone who invested lost their money. My father was already mid-60s. He was looking towards retirement. And when this investment went bad, my father became very ill with Parkinson's and was bedridden. And he was in a hospital bed in the living room in their home. And my little mother, who stood this tall, was taking care of him. That's what happened to my family. There was no way to pay the bank. There was very little income. I was teaching voice lessons, and you don't make a lot of money doing that. And if you don't teach any lessons, you don't have any money. So there was no way that we could see how we were going to save the home for my mother. At the same time, or a little bit before the discovery of the bad investment, I met a gentleman who invited me to a meeting. I didn't want to go, but there was that force that said, go. So I went, and I learned about Chinese herbs. I didn't know what MLM was, and I hated it because I thought MLM was where the people on the top took all the money from the people on the bottom, the little people. And I was one of the little people. So I didn't like it. So I didn't want to know anything about their business. I didn't want anything to do with it. But I liked the products. The first month, I got a check for $5. And I thought the company made a mistake. I called them, and they said, no, that's yours, and I couldn't figure out why. I didn't know anything. My sponsor didn't tell me anything about the business. So listen carefully. The next month, my check was $100. I went, wow, where did this come from? I better figure this out. So I decided I would read the policies and procedures. You know, we all check the box that we read it, but nobody reads it. Am I right? And I was amazed at what I saw. I was amazed there was a possibility to make some money. And you know what went through my mind? The mortgage, my parents' home, a way to save my parents' house. So I started building, and I structured my building according to their marketing plan so I could get the most out of it. Now, if I'd had a good sponsor, she would have explained that to me in the beginning. So be a good sponsor, okay? Learn from my story. It took me 3 years, and I paid the mortgage. I saved my parents' home. And I went to my father, and I sat down on the edge of the hospital bed, and I said, Dad, you don't have to worry about Mom anymore. I paid the mortgage. You don't owe the bank any money. And his eyes lit up. He could hardly talk, but you could see that sense of relief, not having to worry about my mother, his wife. And about 6 or 7 months later, he passed away. But he passed away knowing that Mother was safe, their house was secure. So you wonder, why do I love this business? I believe that MLM is one of the few ways the average person, that's me and you, the average person can make a better than average income. Anybody can do it who wants to. Anybody. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to have a certificate. You don't have to take any classes. You just have to love it. I'm going to tell you 3 things. This was my thing. This is what I discovered, and this is what I taught when I was building my business. 1, look for someone who has a burning desire, a need. I had a burning desire. My family had a need. 2, look for someone who likes to talk a lot, because that's what we do. We talk. We meet people. We're constantly talking. And 3, look for someone who loves the field of health, well-being. You know, it would be pretty hard to convince someone to join Young Living if they like to get drunk every night and smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. That doesn't fit Young Living. You might change them around, but I was in a hurry. I had to build my business fast because I was saving my parents' home. So I looked for the right kind of person who I thought might be interested in my kind of a business. As time went on, I discovered that so many people have a need for a little bit more money. And I started teaching more about the business. And you know what? I discovered I love teaching business because I gave people something that they really needed, something they could go after, something that would help their home. Sure, you gotta have good health or you have nothing. Health comes first, but you need a vehicle. It's one thing to have a business about health, but you gotta make money, you gotta pay for your products, you gotta live. Our world functions on money. It's the medium of exchange for everything that we do. If you don't have any money, you're crying the blues. You're pretty unhappy. But if you have that little bit more money, you get excited. And when you have a business where you can see it can be a little bit more and a little bit more and maybe a lot, and it all depends on you. It depends on what you want. What are you going to go after? Maybe some people don't care. Maybe some people have lots of money. I've seen people who are very well-to-do, who have enough money, but they love the products. And they want other people to have the benefits of what we have. So there are many reasons why we build a business. My reason in the beginning was my excitement over the products. But when I discovered I could make money, I got even more excited. In Young Living, we have the best of both worlds. You can tell the world about the fabulous products we have, about our fabulous essential oils. But you can make money at the same time. It's a huge blessing. And if you can explain that to someone where they can see your excitement and what you've accomplished, there's no reason why you're not setting the example for them. They'll go for it because you went for it, because you're excited, because you had a fantastic experience, because Peppermint did something fantastic for you, or Valor did something fantastic for you, and they say, maybe I want to try that too. Do you know, my favorite thing in the whole world was the kitchen table. And I would dump out what we would call our beginning pack, our fast start pack, and the products would roll around on the table. And one by one, I would talk about each product. I was very non-compliant. And do you know what happened? Every single time without fail, 100% of the time they said, "Can I have that?" And I said, "Sure." So they paid me, or they bought another pack and gave it back to me. But they went home with my pack every single time. Why? Because I was excited. Because I gave them value for what I was showing them. In Young Living, we have so much more. We are the real deal. We are real. You don't have to make it up. You don't have to tell a lie. You don't have to be deceptive. We really do have a farm. How many people say they have farms? They want to copy us, and you know who I'm talking about. They don't have any farms. They don't have any distilleries. They don't produce any oils. They don't put their oils in their supplements. They don't do any research. They don't have big laboratories. They don't have an R&D. But we do. We're real. They say, well, your products are so expensive. Well, you pay for what you get. How much money do you think it costs to have all of these workers out in the fields harvesting, distilling, and then you got to ship the oils, then you got to put them in bottles, and you got to put labels on them, and you got to get them out the door. That all costs money. Everybody has to make money. But it is so exciting when you can speak from your heart. And you know, when people realize that you can look them in the eye and say, I only speak truth. You can feel it, because I only speak truth. I don't make anything up. I don't have to. The stories about Gary, oh, they are so real. I could tell you story after story after story after story, and you would shake your head and go, oh, how is that possible? We were down over there in the jungle. He said, Mary, come go with me. He's got a machete, chopping the brush. We get to a little clearing, and he says, Mary, where shall we build the distillery? And I went like this. there. And he built it exactly where I pointed. Can't you see the beautiful fields? No. Can't you see the crops growing? No. Can't you see all the people coming? No. His vision was so big. And he always said, if you don't have a big vision, you don't make anything happen. A little vision doesn't get you anywhere. He said, I could only dream big. And if you have, how many of you went out to see the tree house? You've been out there to see the tree house? Do you know that was a project that he started with Jacob? It was going to be just a little tree house for Jacob and Joseph. But when he started building, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Who ever heard of a tree house with hot water, a stove, bedrooms, internet? Yeah. I mean, he just couldn't do it small. But we have what we have because of his vision. And he was very funny because from my house up there, we could hear the workers laughing in the fields because Gary was out there with him. And he was so funny. He was such a jokester. He made them all laugh. He made them feel like they were so important. He made them feel like they could do it. And he knew they believed. They knew that Gary believed in them. They couldn't understand how the doctor would come out and work in the fields and get his hands dirty. They couldn't comprehend that. But he was always there. That was his favorite thing, being with them in the field. It's the same thing for us. You know, there's the big thing about affiliate marketing. Sign them up next, sign them up next, sign them up next, sign them up next. Does that go anywhere? No, it doesn't. But we have something special, something extraordinary in Young Living. We have, if you want to call it, an affiliate program. But that's for the people who don't want to spend time and build an organization, who don't want to get involved with other people. And there are lots of people like that. But still, you get OGV, you get payout, and you know what happens? They have to come through Young Living to get an affiliate ID or whatever it is. So they can't help but learn about Young Living. Gaia told me they have had so many people who knew nothing about Young Living, who were excited about Wild Notes, who ended up enrolling in Young Living. It's an opportunity. It's something that young people love. You know, the teenagers, oh my goodness, there are so many young people who are having so much fun with Wild Notes. But you who are building the organization, you are the ones who have the benefit in the long run, because what you're building is something sustainable, something that doesn't go away. You can go on vacation with your family while everybody else is still working, and your commission check keeps coming. So we need to get back to work and rebuild. There's been so much loss with COVID and, you know, all the misery with our website. I don't take responsibility for it, only in that I'm the one people throw darts at. But as Ben has told you, and I'm sure you've had lots of conversation with Ben, with Prasad, with Tyson, it's all getting better. And I guarantee you the time will come when it will be first class, and we will run like a well-oiled machine. We're seeing it happen. Every day it's getting better. Am I right, Ben? And we are excited. There's a lot of excitement in the office. They are excited about you. They want you to have a great experience because They don't benefit if you don't benefit. They don't have a job if you're not making it happen. They don't have a job if you don't need them. You need them, and they need you. You are so important because you are the messengers. You are the one taking our message to the world. If you don't talk, if you don't find that person with a burning desire who likes to talk about, who loves the world of health, if you don't find that person who's right around the corner from you, they miss out. Think about the person who introduced you to Young Living. You're all successful as platinums. How grateful are you to that person who introduced you? I will forever be grateful for that man who put that bottle of stevia in my face and said, "Would you be interested in a natural sweetener?" And I didn't know what he was talking about. But because he had the courage to ask me that, and then the courage to invite me to a meeting to which I did not want to go, I stand here today. Because of that, you never know how far-reaching the decisions that you make will take you. But you let that energy, you let those impressions come. Close your eyes and ask, what is the best thing for me to do? And those answers will come to you. But think of the thousands of people, millions of people out in the world who need what we have in Young Living, who need our oils, who need our supplements, who need us to care about them, to help them, to give them courage and support. The world is in so much need. And we know more than a lot of people. And we have that ability. We have that opportunity. So let's take advantage of that opportunity. And let's bring lots more people back here to this farm, to St. Mary's, to Mona. Every single farm is different. No two farms are alike. It's remarkable how different they are. And every farm is a different experience. This is the biggest farm. We have Nova Vita. It's the only place in the world where you can have certain therapies, if you know what I mean. And it's growing. We can't advertise our special therapies, but we can sure talk. We have the finca. We have the school. And we have all these beautiful people who work here who are so excited when you come, when you tell them how grateful you are for what they do to give us a grand experience when we come here. The world is ours to conquer. And we have the real thing. We are real. So let's take that realness and the glorious opportunity of enriching someone else's life, not only with the products, but with a financial stability that everyone in the world is looking for. I love you all, and let's finish out the rest of the day having fun here at Finca.
Thank you, Mary. That's a mic drop, I think. This is probably the smallest group you'll get a chance to hear from Mary Young, our CEO and founder. So thank you, Mary, for treating us with your words today. So we have a couple of shuttles leaving here shortly. One just